and welcome back to Roguecraft here on Musicfreegaming. And I am back here. I'm actually at the base of my iron farm, and there's a lot less here than there used to be. Yes, I have decided to go all diggy for a while. I needed some stone and I need some space. And apparently, I also need darkness and scariness. I had this lit up, but I had a minor water issue a moment ago, so it's dark there. But I've got some plans. So what I'm going to be doing is adding to my mob farm, my iron farm area. I'm going to be adding a mob farm to my iron farm. It all makes sense. At some point, this makes sense. So that's the plan. I'm also wanting to add a sugarcane farm and a bamboo farm. I'm not sure I'm going to get there completely today, but we'll get started on things. So here I am at the top of my iron farm, right? You can see the zombie running around down there. Occasionally you'll see the golem spawn and drop into the flaming pit of death, which is awesome. And right here, this pillar, right here, that's where the mob farm is going to be. Now I've got this lovely layer of glass out to it just because it was convenient. But this is going to be a typical Gnembon flushing farm, right? Nothing too crazy. So you put the dispenser there, and then you stack up dispensers all the way up, and then you run an observer. Oops, gotta get down there. Pointing down at the dispenser, right? So the redstone dot points at the dispenser, the face points up to the one above it, and that's going to go all the way up. So the idea is when a signal gets triggered up top, it gets pushed down the tower, and all of these things flush out and then flush off any mobs, which is great. And then the idea is you start with the dispenser, and then you come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You do this on all 4 sides, connect them in sort of a diamond format, and you do that all the way up. Because when the water dispenses out, it'll flush right to the edge, and everything's going to be awesome. Now, I was kind of curious because of the shape of all of this. This should fit nicely. All the mobs around the inside should drop. These ones on the corners are going to be a little interesting, right? So this square, this block that I'm standing on, minus 342 and 318. Down here, 342, 317. So the mobs that are going to get flushed off this, well, off the corners, really, are going to drop down, and they're going to hit these landing pads, right? Occasionally I have iron golems spawn there, and they still will, and that's fine. But the mobs will drop off, and they'll land on this as well. Now, my only concern right now is what's going to happen with these walls, if the mobs are going to land on those too. I hope not, but I won't know until I start running the farm. So that's the the next thing to do. Okay, so I've been doing some work off camera, and now I've got the farm in place. So I've got, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 platforms, which should be enough, I would expect. And you can see by the arms here, I was going to do the standard roof over the top, you know, but I decided later that I'm going to actually wall this thing up because I've got some plans that involve building some things around the outside, and I thought it would be kind of nice to have some walls there. Some of these will come out as I build things up, but this is great. So now I can come in, hit the lever, turn the farm on, and you can see it. All right, there's the water. It all turns off. When it's dark enough, which will happen once I start getting the walls in, then mobs will spawn, and eventually we'll get flushed off. So, and there the water goes off. So that's where it sits. I need to finish getting the walls in place, so it's dark and stuff, and that's just going to take a lot of blocks. But all in all, I think I'm making some progress. I think this is going to work out pretty well. Yep, and when it's off, then the water stays and nothing's going to spawn. So typical, this is a Gnembon mob farm. This has been around for 87 years or something like that, right? Nothing too bizarre. So yeah, the next thing is going to be to get the other 3/4 of the sides up. Now, you'll notice this doesn't cover the whole thing, right? It only comes up here and it's leaving this gap, which would still let plenty of light in. I mentioned before, I'm going to be building some farms. I'm going to build them in here so that they drain out it and will drop into this pool, into that pool, right? And all of it will go down into the collection system underneath. Now, I still need to build that collection system because, yeah, I just haven't gotten to it. But that's why I was sticking out that spot earlier. So, yeah, so that's the plan. Now, I guess I'm going to go put on some Star Wars and build the rest of this tower. Well, that took roughly forever, but the walls are up. So let me jump back here into FreeCam and show you a little bit. Yeah, so the walls are up. Obviously, I've got big gaping holes in the sides, right? And so my plan is to run farms up the sides here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what sort of shape those farms are going to take. It'd be nice if I could squeeze them into the footprint of these spawning chambers that the golems spawn in, but I'm not married to that idea, right? I can totally bring this up and down in all sorts of different ways. So I guess that's the next step, but man, this is nice. Plus, I need to do something up here. What we've got is a typical modern high-rise. It's a big, giant box, but at least it has redstone on top, right? That's something, right? All right. Well, let me go see what I can do. Figure out how I want to get these farms started, and then I will bring y'all back. Well, it took most of the Return of the Jedi, but I managed to figure out what I wanted to do here. So what I've got is, we'll start a bamboo farm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tile these up the side, right? So I'm just going to have these going up and up and up and up. And each module kind of looks like this. So it's the bamboo, it's the pistons. I've got one observer that I'm going to watch covering this whole thing because honestly, I don't have a whole lot of redstone, so the fewer observers I can use, the better. But the bamboo will grow, the observer will fire, triggering this redstone, and then all of the pistons. Now here's the fun. Bamboo needs a certain light level, but I don't need light bleeding out here into my mob farm. That would screw things up. So what I've done is I've lined all of this with glow lichen. Glow lichen puts out a light level 7, which is going to be plenty, I think, for the bamboo. And then what I'll do here is I'll close this off. Just, yeah, I guess just like this. Just bring this all the way over. Did I close off this side? I don't remember. I did. Okay, cool. Boom. So that's how that's going to work. And then I'll set up the redstone and it'll all stack up this way. I don't know how many of these modules I'm going to have. Probably 3 on each side here. So I'm going to put bamboo on at least 2 sides, because this is not a lot of bamboo when it comes down to it. It's what? 9 plants? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plants. Okay. So it's 11 plants stacked up. So this will be maybe 40, 30 maybe. I'm just looking at this. I might only do 3. Be able to fit 3 on here. Of course, I can go up higher than the mob farm, so that's not an issue. So maybe I'll do 4, bringing this up. So let's only 44 plants. If I do 2 sides, that's 80 something, right? 88, because that's how math works. So that's the idea. I'm going to put sugar farms and stuff too, but I think what I might do is just to keep things a little bit simpler is I'll put bamboo completely up and down 2 sides of the tower, right? And I've managed to beam myself in. Nice. So I'll do bamboo up and down, say the 2 opposite sides there. I might even do it up this 3rd side, because what I want to do is use the bamboo for a furnace. And then up this side, I'll do a sugarcane farm. I might do 2 modules of sugarcane, and then I'll do a couple of modules of probably pumpkins or melons. And then the way this will work is, well, I close it up. When the pistons fire, drops everything down into water stream down here, which will drop down right down into this, and then flood back into the thing. So if I were to, let's see, I do not have the fixings for a lever. I do have the fixings for a stone button though. So, right. So if this fire, it pushes them through. Yeah, and then you can see they're dropping down all the way down into the collection system down there. So, yeah, this should work out nicely, right? And I'll stack it all up. So, well, guess I gotta figure out which one of these takes me down. So that's the idea. I just need to build up another 4 of these, and at least per side, or yeah, I think 4 of these per side should do it. And I think as I was looking at it, obviously I need to change out some of the stuff. I've got spruce in there because that's the wood I had. I think I'm going to change some of that. And then I am also thinking I'm going to have to take a trip to the Nether, or maybe build myself a netherwood farm, because I think I want to use warped wood as highlights on this, because I love the way the deep slate and the warped wood, the teal of that sort of combine. So yeah, so that is the master plan, such as it is. So guess need to get started on building some more of that. But it's not massive and huge and all that stuff. But, well, okay, I guess I'm going to lose that scaffolding. But it's going to work out okay, right? And so I think, let's see, just while I'm here, how much higher up do I want to do? I had to give this some room so that the golems could spawn under it. But I think 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So if I come up here, right, this is, grab a slab here. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then, actually, if I put that right there, and that's sort of the underside, that's going to be a little bit low. I think I need to come up at least, I think that was the same block. Somewhere up there. Yeah, I think that's going to look better. That'll all run across. And just because I've now done something really stupid, just throw a torch up there just to keep that from being spawnable. But yeah, so that's going to be the plan. I've got some building to do. And it took a little while not to design the farm here, because that's easy. But it took a little while to figure some stuff out. At least the shape of this. And also, as I'm looking at this, I realized I have a gap underneath these pistons right here. So I need to get down off all of the scaffolding and close off the farm here. And then this will be left. Actually, I don't want to put it here. I want to put it Yeah, I guess I can put it here. I was just thinking that maybe I want to run another water stream here, but I don't. I'm just going to block this off right here like this. Okay. And boom, that's dark. Now I should fill that in, but I don't need to. So there's plenty of light there, and it's not going to bleed out into the rest of the farm. So yeah, so basically what I'm doing is ending up building one giant farm building, right? I've got myself a skyscraper, and it's just farms. Right? Iron farm, bamboo, sugar, melon, pumpkin, and this is going to be fun too. I've got plants, now that I've got some cactus, I want to run some cactus underneath here. And basically just build a cactus farm underneath this bottom spawning platform. So I'll take 1, maybe 2 levels of cactus, and it will also drop down there. So now the good news is none of these farms are very fast, so I'm not too worried about overflowing my collection system. The only time where it might be an issue is if the mob farm is running, but I don't think that's going to be an issue either. So yeah, so I guess now I just need to get up here and start the next round of platform. Whoa. I'm going to also fall off the scaffolding because that's just how I do things. The whole idea that I can actually come up here and build something without falling off is sort of silly, really. But, yep, so that is the master plan. So I think, I'll see if I can get another 1 or 2 of these built. I don't know, this took a long time, but I'll see if I can get another couple of these built today and show you what this looks like. Okay, well, it's been a while, but I finally was able to get the tower complete. I think there's still a few things I need to work out here, but overall, I'm not too upset with how this all worked. I think I'm pretty happy with how this all worked. So I've got the bamboo in these 3 sections, filled in some gaps in between. And in theory, everything will flow right down through these holes, right through there, and down into this, into the main section of the collection system. Same place all the iron goes. I've got 3 more sides to do, but it works. So the next thing that needs to get done is a storage system. So I'm going to go work on that. And, the other thing I may have to worry about here is jumping in the water, because water is wonderful. But it's possible that not everything's going to fall out of these holes cleanly. This one I'm not worried about. These ones, they may not quite make it down in here. I can solve that problem by putting a cobweb right at the bottom of the hole. The items will hit the cobweb, sort of bunch up there for a minute, and then will eventually just drop straight down into the hole. So I have some cobwebs, so that's not a big deal, other than being annoying to get up there. So yeah, so that's step 1. So next, or step 2 or step 3, or it's been many steps, we shall say. The next thing I need to do is get down and set up the storage, and to do that I am going to need to get a lot of trees, because storage systems use so many boxes, so many chests, not just to store stuff in, but also to make all of the hoppers. So that is my next step. And through the magic of editing, here's my storage system. That's right, or at least part of it. I mean, I gotta clean up a lot of stuff, and it's not as great as it can be, but could be worse, right? So got the golems. Of course, this is also where the drop from mob farm, the bamboo farm and stuff is, right? And all of that gets sucked into this hopper line. I'd use water and ice, but I don't have ice. So that's just going to have to wait for a little bit. But in the meantime, we've got the hopper lion here. And feeding some chests. Now, I'll stack this all the way down to ground level down here, which, yep, dark but livable. Okay, that's fair. So I've got my iron coming into these chests. Mob drops, are coming in here. String, rotten flesh, arrows, gunpowder, and I put poppies in here too. Now, I have 5 hoppers of bamboo. Now, that seems ridiculous, and you're right, that kind of is ridiculous. But I have plans, right? I have all sorts of plans. You see, what I want to do over here is I want to build a super smelter. I'm going to have to take out all of this stone, all of this right here. In fact, I will use the right view so you can see it, right? We'll clean all this stuff out and work off of these different chests and things to fuel the super smelter. So that's going to come down and be down here somehow. I haven't quite figured out all of that stuff, but heck, I may take it all and run it back in that way. I don't know. I haven't quite planned that far ahead. But that is the plan. So I'll have the smelter, right? I'll feed it off the bamboo. Got all this other fun stuff. And the mob farm's working really well. Let's jump over there and I'll show you how that's happening. All right, so I'm up at the top of the mob farm. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And let me jump to the free cam so we can look inside. Now, right now, because I don't have it all blocked in, this doesn't work real well during the day. But at night, things will spawn in here. Now, I should probably go up a little higher to get out of the... just to give myself something. Some of a thing. There we go. This might work. Where's my scaffolding? So, we'll just pop up here about 20 or so blocks. And, okay, that should work. Now that I'm sort of out of the way, yes, now you can see the mobs are spawning. There's a lot of creepers in that run. But you can see what kind of happens here as they, when they drop off these sides here, right? They'll end up landing in this. Everywhere else looks like it's going to safely land into the smelter, which is great. Yeah, so it'll just drop straight down, so I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, yep, there we go. A couple more spawning in, and you watch as doink. Yep, that skeleton ended up. Yeah, see, that creeper ended up on the ramp, and down they go. So yeah, that's ouch. That's a long way down. We're going to slap some light back up there. I'm going to turn the farm off. Right, so that's how that's all going to work. And then, of course, all of that ends up pumping right back down into the mob farm, or the mob farm into my storage system. So, yeah, I'm really happy with this. Okay, and that is all the time I've got for today. I've spent a lot of time grinding. In fact, I've probably spent way too much time on this episode for as short as it is. But this is great. I mean, ultimately, this is going to give me all the gunpowder I'm going to need. String is going to be easier. I only need the spider farm now for spider eyes, because spider eyes are important in many recipes. I wouldn't put them in cake, but a lot of potions use them, so I'll be happy with that. So, get back. I'll be doing some more work on this a little bit later, and see what we can do next week. But until then, be excellent to each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is Musicfreegaming signing off.